The role given to Lortel is a hidden heroine. Unlike Phinia, Lortel is treated as a villain from the start, but her true character will be revealed in the second half of the story, when players understand the realism of Lortel, her sadness and loneliness. They will be faced with a choice between Phinia and Lortel. Seeing Ed, who had been silent all this time, Lortel then tried to call him once again. But Ed just walked away, which made her speechless. Ed thought, for now he should not fall into her words. If he fell into Lortel's plan, he would lose control. But Lortel did not give up so easily. She then approached Ed and asked him to at least listen to her first. She really wanted to help him. Ed still tried to stay away and told her not to make promises that she could not keep. Lortel then stopped right in front of him and said that she was amazed to see him. He still continued to learn even in very difficult conditions, although she heard that he was a little arrogant and selfish. But she thought it was not so important. Ed then asked what she wanted to talk about. Lortel did not answer immediately and instead took out 3 gold coins as a down payment. She then questioned Ed about his closeness to Janica lately. Lortel asked him to help her be friends with Janica. Seeing the 3 gold coins that Lortel took out, Ed pondered for a moment. It was equivalent to several people's salaries for a month. But, did she think she could buy connections with money? Lortel just smiled at that. She then asked Ed to just keep the money for now. The more people on her side the better. Ed was a little surprised because Lortel already understood her position. That she would be involved in a political battle with Phoenicia to get the leadership of the academy, so it is very important for her to make allies now. Ed smiled for a moment after thinking about that, while thrusting his hand forward. Ed then said that he agreed and asked her to shake hands. People who live in wealth all their lives will be crushed when they face poverty. It is very easy to crush those who are already cornered like this, even if it is just for a small amount of money. They are willing to sell their families, even their dignity and self-respect just for 1 gold coin. It's easy to dominate those who are desperate. Unfortunately, it won't happen. Looking at the 3 gold coins that are now returned to her, Lortel feels this is interesting. She can only stare at Ed, who is now slowly moving away from her sight, while Ed himself is feeling very upset at the moment. If he accepts it, his burden might be reduced. It's a pity, but if he brings the newbie Crusher and Janica together, he can't even imagine what bad things will happen. It's important to avoid anything that can change the original storyline. That night, despite being faced with Ed's sharp attitude, but Lortel did not feel offended at all. She then approached Janica in her dormitory, always calculating profit and loss, a smart merchant who never let go of an opportunity. Janica was surprised when Lortel suddenly came to her. Seeing Lortel with her hair down made her look different in Janica's eyes, and Lortel became more determined to make Janica Feylover her ally. Lortel then asked if she remembered the incident during the joint combat training a few days ago. There was a big commotion because she used an intermediate spell that should have been banned. It was a long time ago. But she really wanted to apologize. Lortel just wanted to see how great the second year's best student was, even though she was injured. But it was a high price she had to pay. Seeing Janica, who looked worried at her wound, Lortel immediately asked her not to worry. It would soon heal. Janica seemed like a hero in a fairy tale to her. She wondered if she used her guilt, would she be easier to overcome? But she was then surprised when Janica suddenly asked, did things not go well with Ed? She then asked what she meant. Smiling, Janica said. She tried to refrain from talking about personal matters as much as possible. The spirit loves to chat. Almost everything she said near the North Forest reached her ears. Lortel then asked for an answer about the deal she made with Ed related to her. Janica said she was touched that Lortel was willing to invest gold coins to be close to her, but sincerity is not something that money can buy. For her, Ed's approach made her more touched. Janica then corrected her attitude because she felt that she was too arrogant as a senior. Seeing that, Lortel thought she should correct her judgment on Janica. Janica then said that she had to leave now. She had to prepare a lot of things to make a contract with High Spirit. She had gotten a lot of support lately, so she had to work hard. It was a misunderstanding to think that Janica Feylover was a fairy tale hero. Janica then suddenly paused. She then apologized for the incident for hurting her. Lortel thought Janica was a person who even knew the dark side of the world. Janica wished her a speedy recovery. She's a person who maintains her cheerful personality. Janica then left there. Lortel could only sigh and felt this was difficult, but strangely, earlier she felt like it was very dangerous. While Janica herself thought she had to work hard, she hoped good things would happen. The next day, The sun was shining so brightly that it shone on Ed's clothes that he was drying. There was also Lucy. She couldn't stand the smell, so she flew away immediately, which caused the clothes that Ed had just dried to become random. While picking up the clothes that had fallen, Ed then realized the presence of someone. She was the senior maid of the Wifus residence, the best dormitory of the Sylvania Academy, Belle Maya. She was also the maid who had expelled Ed out of his dormitory before. Maya knew he was here because Janica often talked about him before, but she didn't expect him to live like this. Ed could only be silent hearing that. Maya was grateful that there was a good change in him. Ed could only agree to that while holding back his confusion. Maya's words buzzed in his ears, but his gaze kept drifting. Maids in the Wifus residence handle all kinds of household tasks, including the food of the students. They are an elite group that organizes every task perfectly. The basket she carried contained high-quality ingredients that these elite maids gathered from the forest. This was valuable information that could not be found in books. Ed then recalled, in the episode where Maya influenced the storyline. While Ed was still deep in thought, Maya said he didn't have to be formal with her. He could talk to her like when he lived in Wifus. But Ed said he wouldn't. Maya was quite confused to hear that. Ed then said, how could he not respect a maid who always worked hard like her? After Ed recalled, there was no episode where Maya directly influenced the story. Then, it wouldn't hurt for an extra like them to get closer to each other. Ed then heard the explanation of various edible berries, mushrooms, and herbs from Maya. His crafting skills were now improving. He could even make a fish trap with a 2-star difficulty level. He had enough meat and fish now. His food problem was almost solved. He then boiled something using ignition. His 2 basic spells, Ignite and Wind Blade, have now reached level 10, although it is only 2 basic spells, but he continues to use it every day. And before he knows it, it has already reached level 10. Soon the herbal tea that he boiled using ignition earlier has now finished. He used his basic spell to burn wood or cook. With that, his survival efficiency increased significantly. As proof, he has already finished all his work, although the sun has not set. To be honest, Ed is quite enjoying this. But he was then surprised when he saw something that was about to fall from the sky, until finally it fell and hit the place where he was. The impact of it made Ed thrown. He could only groan in pain. It was not clear exactly what had fallen from the sky, because the impact of the fall was so powerful that it made dust fly up, which caused impaired vision. Ed could only put on a confused look while wondering what happened. The residence he had built hard was also destroyed just like that. After a while, Ed was now slowly able to see what had fallen earlier. What was surprising was that it turned out to be Lucy. Lucy lamented that she was almost dead.
So, friends, this chapter comes to an end. What will happen next? We'll uncover it in the next chapter. Don't forget to rate this chapter out of 10 in the comments. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care and goodbye. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.